It was a rainy Friday, and I was wandering around a small bookstore, quickly getting lost in a narrow aisle with shelves towering over me. I could smell the books around me. It was in Brussels, Belgium, and I was a 21-year-old foreign exchange student, full of big ideas, but still looking for direction. That day, I picked up a book that changed my life forever. I was a business major, curious about people and history, but I had little interest in the stock market. I was absolutely convinced it was a casino where only a small number of market wizards can win. That book gave me a whole new perspective. It was One Up on Wall Street. Peter Lynch described how we can use the knowledge we already have to make money in the stock market. He painted a vivid picture of his journey from a golf caddy to a manager of one of the most successful investment funds. A manager who regularly and curiously looked into his shopping cart for investment ideas. I made 3 discoveries that day. First, stocks are small pieces of businesses that we can buy and own. Second, we all already have great knowledge about many businesses. And third, investors are not market wizards, but ever-learning world explorers looking for treasures often hidden in plain sight. I was very intrigued. So intrigued, in fact, that I decided to become an investor myself. I still have that book. The pages turn yellow, but without it, I wouldn't be here today. But why am I here today? I love investing, but what gives me real pleasure is spreading my passion for investing. My favorite time is when I sit down with my interns or my clients and I introduce them to the world of investing. I see the sparkle in their eyes. That's the moment that Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr., an American polymath, beautifully described in those words. One's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. After 13 years as a professional investor, making mistakes, learning, gaining experience, inspiring many bright young minds and guiding many wonderful clients, I believe that there is a great investor in everyone. And I believe that investing offers a wonderful opportunity to learn, grow, realize your dreams, and secure a more comfortable future. I know that you're up against a lot of misinformation and confusion when it comes to investing. But by the end of this speech, you will not only see more clearly a potential for a great investor in you, but you will also discover 3 secret advantages over professional investors that you already have. I'll show you what they are and how to use them. And I will share with you my journey from an insider to an outsider, from a tight suit behind a desk with multiple screens to flip-flops, hammock, and a book. A path that I like to call a path of a remote investor who stays connected but keeps a healthy distance. And you're about to see why. Your first advantage is your world-bound freedom. You might think that a desk and multiple screens are necessary to be great investors. Many professional investors miss out on the best ideas because they're tied to their desks. They make investment decisions without ever leaving the office, holding a product, or trying a service of the company. You already enjoy world-bound freedom, and you have a healthy distance from all the desks and the screens. How can you use this advantage? The first question we want to answer as investors is, what do we buy? We're looking for good companies with high and growing profits. Companies that have three qualities: a lasting competitive advantage, something truly unique about them, an honest and smart leadership, and a big and promising market to capture. When you woke up this morning, you likely did three things. You picked up your favorite smartphone. You used your favorite toothpaste. And you put on your favorite shoes. Why this smartphone, this toothpaste, these shoes? Throughout your life, you've already made countless shopping decisions, and you have an invaluable insight about countless products and services, thus also about the businesses behind them. As investors, we need to have a mindset of explorers on a treasure hunt, detectives putting together all the pieces of the puzzle. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, one evening, I was walking past an Apple store, and I saw endless lines of people eager to buy their very first iPhone. Apple introduced us to a new smartphone. It was much more than a phone. It was beautifully designed and fun to use. Apple's success was a world phenomenon, and it was no secret to millions of consumers. And that got my attention. Apple had a great product, great management, big market to capture, and big profits. Many professional investors didn't see it for a while, but Apple was an opportunity hidden in plain sight. Let me share with you a role model whose life I find inspiring. A true world-bound investor, John Templeton. What did he do? In the 1960s, after a successful career in New York City, he physically moved his operations from Wall Street to the Bahamas. It gave him a world-bound perspective, and it opened his eyes to opportunities around the world. He was named by Money Magazine arguably the greatest global stock picker of the century. When it comes to world-bound freedom, it's easier to find investment ideas when you're away from the desk. I find my best ideas when I meet new people, explore new places, gain new experiences. I still have a desk, but I find more time for world-bound life. To unleash a great investor in you, take the path of a remote investor. Be true outsiders who live world-bound lives and see investing as a treasure hunt for ideas that might be hiding in plain sight. Your second advantage is your original thinking. You might think that investment meetings around conference room tables are necessary to be great investors. Many professional investors buy stocks at the wrong time because they're limited by investment groupthink. They read the same newspapers, newsletters, they go to the same conferences, they think alike, they act alike, they have the same ideas, and they make the same mistakes. You already are original thinkers, and you have a healthy distance from the investment groupthink. How can you use this advantage? We already know what to buy. We're looking for good companies that we like. The second question is, when do we buy them? And the very best time to buy is when the prices are down and investors are fearful. Let me share a story with you. It was a cold New York March day in 2009. And I was running late to a dinner where investors swap ideas. It was the darkest time of the last financial crisis. The stock market was down some 50%. I don't remember what I ate that night. But I do remember that no one put forward a single idea, although it soon proved to be one of the best times to invest. I realized that I can't count on the crowd to tell me when to buy. I have to rely on my original thinking in moments of real opportunity. As investors, we have to have a mindset of bargain shoppers, which works just fine when we're shopping for groceries. But when it comes to stock investing, we forget that. We want to buy more because the price went up. Let's go back to our Apple idea. You might think a stock of a company like Apple is never on sale. Well, only 6 years ago, the price fell from 100 to 55. And that caught my attention. And then 2 years ago, the price fell from 130 to 90. And it's at 170 today. Even the best companies are on sale sometimes. The value of the company doesn't change much quickly, but the price often does. Let me share with you another role model whose life I find inspiring. A true original thinker, Warren Buffett, a legendary investor who dedicated his life to spreading lessons of wise investing. He tells us to be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Throughout his life, he made bigger investments when the prices were down, and he grew his wealth from a few newspaper routes to one of the largest fortunes in the world. When it comes to original thinking, it's easier to make investment decisions when you're away from the groupthink. I find my conviction to go against the crowd when I'm on the walk, on the beach, on a bicycle ride. I'm still curious what others think, but I leave room for original thinking. To unleash a great investor in you, take the path of a remote investor. Be true outsiders who leave room for original thinking and who have the conviction to go against the crowd and buy when the price is down. Your third advantage is your mindfulness. You might think that all the news flow, price quotes, minute-to-minute market updates are necessary to be great investors. Many professional investors don't have the patience and discipline because they're victims of financial media overstimulation. They feel that they have to be always plugged in to never miss a beat. The first stock I bought was an airline. I did my detective work. I read a book about the founder. I got to know their story. Low cost, but treating customers well. The stock price was high, but I couldn't wait. I bought it. The minute I bought it, the stock price started to fall every single day. After a short while, I sold it, only to see the price rise many times over in the next few years. I learned a lesson. I was too eager to buy and too eager to sell. As investors, we need to have a mindset of business owners who are patient and disciplined, who are in no rush to buy and even less of a rush to sell. Let's go back to our Apple idea. Let's say we found it, we like it. It will take patience to wait for the price to be on sale. It will take discipline to buy it only when the price is down. And once we buy it, we have to give it time to deliver the returns. And sometimes it may take months, sometimes it may take years. Let me share with you another role model whose life I find inspiring. A true patient and disciplined investor, Charlie Munger. He has been a long-term business partner of Warren Buffett. He never stopped learning and reading, and he once said something that really struck a chord with me. He said, "It's waiting that helps an investor, and a lot of people just can't stand to wait." When it comes to mindfulness, it's easier to stick to your investment decisions when you're away from all the noise. What I find helpful is to be surrounded by nature, in the park, in the woods, on the ocean. I still check the news and the price quotes, but I unplug whenever possible to leave room for mindfulness. To unleash a great investor in you, take the path of a remote investor. Be true outsiders who live mindful lives and who see that investing takes patience and discipline. The minute you buy your first stock, your first investment fund, you open your first retirement account, you become investors. You become proud part owners of businesses, proud part owners of the world economy. It's your world. Why not own a small piece of it? It might be little, but you will be among the Peter Lynches and Warren Buffetts of the world. Investing might sound simple, but it's not easy. But you can still take the easiest of paths. If you spend less than you earn, and you invest regularly in an index fund, a fund that holds a little bit of everything, and Noah's Ark of the market, as I like to call it, you will do very well over your lifetime. You have to worry less about the stock picking and market timing, and your money will quietly work for you. If you decide to embark on the stock picking adventure, take the path of a remote investor who stays connected but keeps a healthy distance. My experience taught me that a tight suit, a desk, and multiple screens are not the necessary gear. I realized that they can actually get in the way of a great investor, while all you need is open mind, curiosity, flip-flops, hammock, and a book, and good Wi-Fi. To unleash a great investor in you, gain a new perspective, and use the 3 secret advantages that you already have. Be world-bound, original thinkers who know what, when, and how to buy. Be world explorers on a treasure hunt for the best ideas. Be bargain shoppers who have the conviction to go against the crowd and buy when the price is down. And be business owners who are patient and disciplined. Investing offers a wonderful opportunity to live an even more fulfilling life, to learn, grow, realize your dreams, and secure a more comfortable future. Start your adventure. Start with a single dollar, but start today. Thank you.